Yeah, she always, I have a spoiler for the show. Well, don't fucking tell me because
I don't have spoilers for anyone else, just them.
Just let's be real. Okay. Like, why would I have no impetus to watch the show if I have it spoiled to me? This show is not exactly Game of Thrones. So.
Out for the...
Everybody, and welcome back to another fun-filled episode of Mostly Harmless with Matt and Sarah. I'm Matt.
And I'm Sarah.
And together we're...
Mostly Harmless.
Mostly Harmless.
Yes. We've been talking about Love is Blind. Well, we talked about Love is Blind in the last episode, and that episode isn't performing so well, but we're in it to win it.
Well, you don't...
So we're gonna finish out the ride. So for the dozens of you that are along this journey with us, we appreciate you. You're the real ones. You're the real ones. And if this just hasn't been your jam, but maybe you'll catch us in a future episode, we also appreciate it. We're in it now, and we are in Minneapolis, Minnesota, where love is
blurry.
That's what, what was his name? I think it was Shake from several seasons back. He said love is blurry, and he thought he ate with that, as the kids would say.
Ate with that?
Yeah, it's like you did a thing. You did a thing with that. You said something quippy, and
I don't know. I feel like every new generation has their own slang and stuff that comes out, and I get that, and the older generation hates it.
I'll never get skibbity.
That's what I'm like. I don't know. But like, do you think that rad was treated with the? But here's the thing: rad is based off of a word radical, which is not. It's a real word.
Which is why I understand Riz. I think Riz
charisma.
Is cool.
I get it. Okay, it's a short name. It's fine. That's fine.
Or what is Ohio slang for now?
I have to look it up.
And like, poor Ohio. Is it something good? Is Ohio good, or is Ohio
so.
like lame?
I think it's like mid. See what I did there? It's mid.
Anyways. So I'm sure people that are like, oh, I love them, but I'm not really into Love is Blind. Oh yeah, let's talk about the kids these days.
Well, listen. When I grew up in the mean streets in New England, I was taught at a very young age, you do not start something and not finish it. So whether or not you are here for it, you are on the same boat. We are all in the same boat.
You know what? Two positives that I will say about our second installment of this Mostly Harmless episode. First of all, only 3 episodes that we have to cover. So we're not doing like a play-by-play recap. So, I mean, I guess that's neither here nor there really, but we're out of the pods where we have solidified couples so we can talk about the couples. We're not talking about like that 4 quadrangle people that, TBD, because I think that they will make a resurgence, but we mostly have everyone figured out. I think Daniel, Dave, and Ben are triplets, and they're like sistering us. I need them to wear name tags.
Daniel, Dave, and Lewis. Daniel, Dave, Lewis.
Daniel, Dave, Lewis. No, right? Because it's Daniel and Taylor. Ben and Sarah, and then Lauren and Dave. And Dave is setting the interwebs abuzz because...
Well, let's just dive in. Let's just dive right in.
Well, okay. Unfortunately, we're not going to start with Dave and Lauren because we need to start off with Taylor and Daniel because we left off episode 6 on a cliffhanger. Like, is Daniel this crazy stalker? Is our short king a short creep? Like, we didn't know.
Short king.
And it got to the point where Taylor was so put off that production stepped in and said, girl, we will give you the Wi-Fi. We will give you your phone.
Yeah, so previously on Love is Blind,
yes.
we ended right at the this crux of like this girl.
They get engaged.
You fill the names in for me. And
Taylor and Daniel.
So Taylor is like, I know I've seen him somewhere before. And I think he followed me. And all the very generic things I put in my profile are things that you only could read if you ever read my profile or Netflix's profile.
Liking Christmas and Taco Bell is so unique that I possibly could never bond with two other. Oh, yeah. Hold on one second.
Yeah.
But like, I couldn't possibly bond with another human being over those two things. Those are so out of the norm for people to like. I mean, my goodness. But yes, Netflix was hilarious and they trolled hard and they made their bio like faith, family, and lots of Taco Bell.
Right.
Watch Love is Blind season 8, and it was.
But
really
we
funny.
ended with this cliffhanger as to, oh, this guy's a creep, and then I don't know. He wasn't doing himself any favors in his reactions to what she says. So imagine this is a play-by-play conversation. Like I'm just gonna paraphrase. Like, I think that you are creeping on my profile, and I'm over here. Come here. I'm over here. Like, yeah, that's his thing. He just was like, and she goes, and I think you followed me. And he's like, right. And then she goes, she said something along the lines of like, if I look there and I see that you were in one of my followers, like, because she has this app, which I've never heard of, that lets you tell people like who you lost and whatever. It's going to be like, it's going down. And he responds with, if you look in that app and you see my name there, it's going to be real bad. And it's like, don't you, I mean, to be fair, I suppose in the innocence of it, if you take any sinisterity out of it, it's like, okay, maybe I cruised, you're all local, so maybe I found another local person, I liked your profile, I liked it, and then I unfollowed it at some point. I don't know how that works.
When we get to Lauren and Dave, we see how small the circles can be in Minneapolis. I mean, honestly, in Los Angeles, we have a friend who married someone who was friends with someone that I went to high school with. So it's like, you and I had a mutual friend when we matched on Tinder. When we Facebook friended each other, I worked with a girl that you tangentially knew. Yeah. Circles can be quite small, even in big cities.
There was this girl I think I went on like one date with. Mm-hmm. And then over the course, and this is in LA, like the biggest, it's a county. It's not even a city, right?
Well, it's both.
Right. Over the course of like 7 years, I would bump into this person, like randomly, like in the strangest fucking places. Yeah. So it would be like, oh, hey, like, so it is, you can coincidentally run into people.
So what Taylor is proposing, or what she is,
pun intended.
Well, what she is thinking is going on is she clearly doesn't trust the process, right?
No.
She doesn't trust the fact that she could have this significant of a bond with someone without there being a catch. Which I can
see that. I can see that your brain.
She lives her life probably with a healthy level of skepticism typically, and she just is waiting for the other shoe to drop, it seems. And she's kind of manifesting ruining this relationship before it even takes flight.
Well, it did feel beforehand. So before there was this reveal, spoiler alert, it was relatively innocuous. Nothing really happened with that.
Yeah, he never followed her.
But right before we find out anything, it really felt like I didn't feel like there was that. I didn't think he was creeping. It felt more like she was trying to get out of this relationship.
Well, so that was a theory on Reddit was, okay, so say he isn't a creep, say he didn't follow her. Is this her way of trying to save face and she's not really into him, and this is her way of kind of cutting and running without looking like a total D-bag about it?
Because I feel like if you're gonna if you're going to fuck off on somebody in this show, it's not like that is going to be the stuff that is absolutely not going to be left on the cutting room floor.
Yeah.
So when you decide, not that this is the case, at least as far as we know now, when you decide you don't want to be part of this experiment anymore, if you don't make it seem just genuine, like ebb and flow, oh, it just didn't work out, turns out, then you're going to get ripped to shreds online. I mean, these people are putting themselves out there.
When you think about it, what Taylor is proposing is happening is quite sinister. She's thinking that this guy possibly happened upon her profile, followed her, somehow found out she had been cast on the show, got himself cast on the show, somehow, because all of these are blind dates, somehow, well, I guess they do say their names, manipulated the situation to where he knew all the right things to say to make it so that she would fall in love with him sight unseen. And it's a very elaborate scheme that she is thinking is going on here. Had she been right, that would have been wild. The one thing I will say, because Taylor and Daniel turn out to be probably the couple that we're all rooting for. Taniel, that we're rooting for the most. They seem to genuinely be in love. Both of their parents have decades-long marriages going on. The one thing is
he's the Alex Moffat looking dude, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The one thing I will say is that Taylor's mom was not very receptive to this whole process. And she kept saying things that really rubbed me the wrong way. Like assuming ill intentions of Daniel, like making sure that he was going to take care of Taylor as if, or that he was going to treat Taylor well, like even though this is the circumstances they met in. It was as if she was not acknowledging the fact that her daughter also signed up to be on this show.
Right.
And also went through the process.
Right. She just happened to be
like,
there, but
all the culpability and accountability for like how they met and the process she's putting on Daniel. And that like really rubbed me the wrong way. But at the end of the day, I think both of these people really seem to genuinely love and care about each other. It was so funny to me when she's sitting there trying to get the Wi-Fi password and she's like, clicking her nails, and all of a sudden both of them at the same time go Bueller, like Bueller. And I was cracking up because it's like that right there is just tells you that you two are on the same wavelength, and maybe something good can come your way, Taylor. Maybe there doesn't have to be
a shoe drop.
Right. So the one thing I will say about all of this is this was an incredibly messed up thing to accuse Daniel of. He took it in stride. He did not make a big deal out of it. He was not a Dave about it. We'll get to Dave.
Well, and I feel like it is for me, say if I were in the same position, that would be a very big indication of a drama red flag. Well, how many mountains will become molehills and molehills mountains in this relationship?
I mean, she created a molehill. She created a mountain out of a molehill that never existed. And
that's what I'm saying.
She didn't really apologize.
Oh, she didn't apologize at all. Well, that we saw.
She said to the camera, she started getting emotional and she said she felt bad, but she didn't really apologize to him. And he didn't get indignant. Like, how dare you question my character? Like I think he took it all in stride. He was a much better sport than probably I would have been if someone attacked my character and my intentions. Well, that's what I'm
saying. I would be wondering what the other shoe is going to be, because you just went so nuts about this imagined and perceived sinisterness, right?
Yeah.
What's the next thing you're going to blow up about that's nothing? Like, there was not a shred of evidence that she had besides she thinks she might have seen this very generic looking white dude in a picture on Instagram. Like, you know what I mean? She's like, I saw you had a picture of you holding a drink in front of a fireplace. And he's like, I think there is a picture of me in front of a fireplace on my Instagram, but I'm not holding a drink. I don't know what you know what I mean? Like, what's the next time? Like, he comes home 5 minutes late and she assumes he was out making love to another person. You know what I mean? Like, is that to me is a big indication that there is no zero. We live at 60, and it's whether we're going to speed up or maybe tap the brakes a little bit. And that's like a stress that I can't live with.
We meet Daniel's family. We meet Taylor's parents, and everyone seems very lovely. And I've heard some spoilers about them, but I won't.
Don't tell me. Don't tell us. None of us know yet. We'll all learn in stride. Yeah, she always. I have a spoiler for the show. Well, don't fucking tell me because I
don't have spoilers for anyone else. Just them.
Just let's be real. Okay. Like, why would I have no impetus to watch the show if I have it spoiled to me? This show is not exactly Game of Thrones. So if you give me like the drama, well, okay, well then what's the point? I am only watching this for the sloppy awfulness of the bad people.
For the Lauren and David of
so
it all.
Like if you're like, oh, and guess what? This happens. Like, great. Well, what's the fucking point of me watching?
Well, okay. So let's move on. Let's talk about Joey and Monica, because these two were like our golden retrievers out of the gate. They were the strongest, I think, of all the ones that got engaged. The OCD revelation wasn't really as big of a deal as I thought it was.
She's kind of a bitch about it.
No. Oh, no, I don't think so.
She is actively pushing his buttons on a regular basis.
Yes.
And that's not fair.
No, but what I thought was really funny is something that you and I talk about all the time, because, like, for example, when I have to take periodically, like, every, like, so many sessions, I have to take a assessment about like where my OCD's at. And there's like categories. There's like harm OCD, there's like symmetry, there's like cleanliness, and there's another category.
And
there's
you don't have symmetry.
I do not have symmetry.
It bothers me a lot.
And what was so funny is the example in this episode was that fireplace.
Yeah, I'll put up a poll.
That was like,
I don't know if this is a thing.
Terribly askew. I'll get a screenshot.
I don't know if I can put up a poll. I don't know if you can do this. Put up a poll. Live poll. It's not live, but put up a poll. Because if any of you people have watched this show, they show a picture in this, during this thing. They show a normal walls of an apartment, and then a mason work column of stone that has a fireplace built into it. But the fireplace is not centered on that pillar. And it's not centered in a way that's like open to the room. It's as if you it's like, here's your thing, right? And I would put the fireplace just right there in the middle. And they were like, no, here it is. Let's just put it off to the fucking side. And she's sitting there, and I'm like, that would be like if I put it on 29 volume for you.
Oh, yeah. I'm big on even
like
numbers.
The fact that does not strike you as, and so like maybe I am a little OCD, because level to me and center and patterns are like, it makes my brain itch if it doesn't work properly.
So the way there is a segment of the population of OCD sufferers that really hates it when people talk about OCD like flippantly, like, oh, I'm so OCD about blah 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 blah. I actually think that OCD is actually probably a lot more common than people think.
Well, it's a spectrum too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, there's not, obviously people aren't going to be as severe as, say, me, but there are things that intrusive thoughts, everybody gets them. People will ruminate on certain things to the level that it affects your ability to function is what constitutes if it's diagnosable or not. But yeah, what do you say? I personally don't mind when people say, oh, I'm OCD about something, because to me what you're telling me is that affects you. It gives you a certain level of anxiety. You are communicating to me that it is something that interrupts your daily life. And I get it. And I don't take offense to that. So anyways, do I think you probably have a little bit of OCD? Sure. Because for sure, I know that fireplace bugged the shit out of you.
I would burn that house to the ground.
It wasn't a house. It was like a bar.
I would burn that bar to the ground.
Yeah.
No, I thought that was the place that they were staying.
That was in the resort that they were
awful. I would move out of this house if something like that. Like yeah. I couldn't. I love our house, yeah. But if fucking somebody came and built some nonsense like that, and they were like, "No, it's great. It's just like cool. It's like off center." I'm like, "Oh, cool. That's great. I'm just off center the fuck right out of this house."
In Cody and Robin's old house, because they've since moved, they had this like funky ass entertainment center where it was. And things were like terribly askew. And like, I don't have symmetry OCD. And even that bugged me. That fireplace, I will admit, bugged me. Anyways, that is not the worst of the situation with Joey and Monica. First of all, Monica's sister sucks. Like,
yeah,
hardcore.
She's awful.
There's a family sock bin that we have to get to.
Communal.
Like, literally, what the fuck is that?
Disgusting.
Yeah,
they're clean socks. That does not make it any better.
No, I would never share socks with my family, and that's not even to say like even if they're clean. Like I have my sock. Like my dad wears thick socks to go in his steel toe work boots. I don't wear thick socks. So and there were like fuzzy socks in
for those
bin.
of you who are just here for us and have not watched this show, this woman said that she and her family have a communal sock hamper where all their socks go in. It doesn't matter. You pull it out and everyone wears whoever's socks. And I'm like, there's no way their family is actually for this. And then when they go to visit them, the family, she's like, oh, you told them about the sock bin. It's like, that's terrifying. I have a few pairs of socks I have work socks and I have home socks. But I can't imagine that I would ever share my socks.
Have I borrowed a pair of your socks before? Yes.
Right, but it's not a fundamental pillar of our family values.
It's not like using someone's toothbrush or wearing someone's underwear.
I think it's closer to wearing someone's underwear.
I think that you can wear a pair of someone else's socks and it's not weird. Having that be like your thing that your family just... Like, what do you guys have? An empty drawer? Like, people have sock drawers. Like, you have an underwear sock drawer or maybe an underwear drawer and a sock drawer. Like, there's a huge component to your dresser situation that's missing.
I don't think
because you combined resource. Really? That's where you're combining your resources is sharing socks?
Maybe.
And none of those people seem like they have the same shoe size.
Well,
you're a size 14 men's. I'm a size 9 women's. You're going to just pick a pair of my socks and put them on?
I put on a pair of your socks one time. They fit right up to the ankle.
Oh, okay. Well,
they stretch. They're cotton.
We have a almost 2-year-old and a 5-year-old. We're just going to throw some toddler socks in there. Toddler socks are the worst.
For my toes.
Yeah.
Little toes.
Constantly getting lost in the washing machine.
Sometimes I just throw them away.
Yeah, I just buy a new pack. But anyways, I would never do that. Monica's family...
It's a little much.
I have thoughts.
A little much.
Her sister fucking sucks.
Yeah.
I think her sister's name was Nicole.
Go into her sister a little bit.
Her sister is a huge ass hater. And
Is she an ass hater or a huge ass hater?
She's a huge ass hater.
Okay, not a huge ass hater.
I don't know where to put the punctuation.
She doesn't
or the
like.
comma.
She either doesn't like huge asses.
No.
Like she's a huge ass hater. Or she's a large hater.
No, she does. She's a large hater.
Okay.
I kind of didn't follow this this boyfriend of the sisters, but the boyfriend initially like was online talking to Monica, and then it was determined.
Oh yeah, she was like, I think you'll like my sister better.
Yeah, he was like more suited. So they've been together for I don't know how long, and then Monica brings home Joey. Nicole, the sister, and Monica go outside and they're chit-chatting, and Monica's like, he's not like physically your type, and she's like, well, that's not like what this experiment was about, and she's like, but his like personality sucks too, like wow. Like she just is like going in on Joey, and then she says, you know, I'm 5 years older than you, and I really should have been getting married first. Yeah, and so she's just a jealous hater, and
she's
like,
a lot of words that I choose not to use.
Yeah, I mean, is Joey maybe quirky and kooky? Sure, but y'all have a communal sock bin, and y'all have a fam jam. The whole like tambourine and instrument playing. I think it's time for a fam jam.
Deliverance.
Yeah, your family is weird as fuck, dude, and you're judging someone else's personality.
What is it? You point one finger and there are three pointing right back at you.
That's what I'm saying. Like, let's chill on the
judgment.
On the judgy wudgy, man. Oh, but the other thing I did love is that Monica travels with a noise machine for sleeping, and we do too.
I can't remember the last time we did not have a noise machine until we had Penelope. And babies and noise machines go together like peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah.
And what would happen, here's kind of how the transition worked. So I'd have the baby monitor next to my bed all night, as I do currently have the baby monitor in my head right now. It would be playing the sound machine all night. And you'd hear the noise machine. Well, at some point, Penelope stopped liking the sound machine. She likes to sleep in silence like a crazy person. And so we then no longer were hearing the sound machine at nighttime. And it was uncomfortable. It's so quiet. And
silence is very loud.
And so we put it in our room. And so what's funny is we live in Florida, and during hurricane season, there's many power outages. And you'll notice in the middle of the night, we'll both wake up because it's absolutely silent.
Yeah.
Like I can still hear Anson's baby monitor because that's Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. So I can still get it on my phone. But like the sound from everything will die for a small period of time, and it'll just be like when the sound goes off, it's almost as jarring as if a loud noise is made. Like when you're used to noise sleeping and that noise goes away, it's the same. Your brain's like, something's changed. I need to wake up. And I don't like it.
No.
I don't like it. Anyway, but yes, I do like a noise machine.
Yes.
White noise. Healthy. Happy. Approved.
Get yourself a Hatch.
Yeah.
Not sponsored.
Could be.
Let's talk about Ben and Sarah. So Sarah without an H and Ben, these two did not crumble immediately after the pods, and I was a little surprised because it didn't immediately dive into is Ben open-minded enough for Sarah? Is he willing to learn the lessons that she would like for him to learn? We meet a group of Ben's friends, and he has a friend that's a lesbian. He has several friends there that are people of color. So I had seen on Reddit that people were theorizing that possibly these were rent-a-friends, like Ben really brought in the coalition, the Rainbow Coalition to show Sarah that he is that he's open-minded and accepting. And so one of the friends in that friend group made a post of all these pictures of all of those people together throughout the years, and she's like, no, we were not DEI hires, we actually all are friends. And
that's nice.
I thought that was like poking fun at that. I thought was cute. So yeah, these are Ben's real life, real friends. They were not rent-a-friends. So that's good to know. These two seem very physically attracted to each other. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. We didn't see them meet families yet. These two, I don't think.
Maybe the real drama is there.
Yeah, when I'll be interested. It seems like Sarah is going to base a lot of her judgment of Ben on his reaction to her sister. Sarah is very protective of her sister. So if Ben doesn't receive her in the right way, it's going to matter a whole bunch. Oh, but there was that like TikTok video that happened.
Oh, yeah. What was that all about? So it was some girl that he did or didn't date for like a minute that was all like, oh, and he's on a reality show now.
Yeah,
or some
I had a lot of thoughts on that. I thought it was incredibly shitty. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, if you date someone and that person and it doesn't work out, and if it just didn't work out because for whatever reason, and that person goes on to like, I don't know, be in the public eye in some form of fashion, that does not mean that you get on TikTok or your social media platforms and like say that you know that for 4 years
you're
ago.
not talking to fellas on this one. There's not a guy on earth who posts nonsense like that.
I know. No, because this guy, no, that's not true, Matt.
I'm going to tell you.
No, because this Lauren's friends with benefits that we're going to talk about is a thirsty motherfucker and wishes he was on the show.
No. But is he posting on Facebook enigmatic posts about the love of his life that's lost? Or is he texting and Facebooking the person?
He made, the Love is Blind, like each cast member gets their own like little square, like it's a purple background and it has like a little saying for them. And it's like, Lauren, 29 or however old she is. And I'm here for the right reasons or whatever it says. This friends with benefit guy made one of himself. Fucking loser, dude.
Yeah, but I think and he is a loser.
So,
but what I'm saying is
let's not say it's just the ladies, but
the people who are going that'll post, it's the same, and you see it all the time. It's get over, oh, they always throw away the ones they love the most. And it's like, dude, why do you have to post? Just silently retreat into the background.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, if I had, so I'm married now, so I would never do this. But say I was single.
Go on.
And one of my ex-boyfriends, like, was on The Bachelor. I would not get on, even the ex-boyfriend that was a real bad situation for me.
Just the one?
You know who I'm talking about. Just the one. I would not get on any of social media and say anything about our relationship because it's over. And that was, let's just say for argument's sake, that person went on a dating reality show. I don't know that person now. I know who that person was when I dated them 10 years ago or however long ago. I don't know who this person is now. People can change. And unless the guy like did something horrific to you, if he was just like an asshole, if he cheated on you, if he just was kind of like a bad boyfriend, like, I'm sorry. I think that is so shitty and so lame. And now this person who, and now I don't know, maybe Ben's not being on the up and up about everything, but if it was,
he got real squirrely.
Well, he said it was like it wasn't a full blown relationship. He kind of started off making it seem like he like didn't even know who this person was. Then he said, oh yeah, we went out a couple times or we hung out a couple times or whatever. But that it was years, like multiple years ago, So what I'm saying is there are people coming out about one of the people in that foursome, Alex, saying, and this I think is legitimate for people to bring to light, that this guy is a creep and he was purposefully like hanging out with minors and supplying them alcohol in hopes of hooking up with them.
Well, I don't know anything about that.
Okay, well that's something
But
multiple
I believe
people,
you have to say allegedly because we don't know that people or the evidence.
Well, people are like roommates that he has had, people that have been in like hanging out at parties that he's attended have corroborated this, but yeah, I mean, I don't know.
You gotta be very careful about things.
But okay, so if it's something like that, yes, that is pertinent information because that's creepy and weird and gross. If someone was just like a shitty boyfriend and didn't give you the attention you felt like you deserved, why do that?
Drama queens. They're all drama.
So I guess that's the tea with them. And Sarah is like, hey, this is I really like, I don't know, people are having beef with Sarah because they're saying she's like a performative activist. She's not really an ally if she's, with Ben and to each their own opinion. I actually like Sarah. Maybe it's because my name is also Sarah.
I have an issue when people try to take away people's cards. Like, you're not an activist because of this. Just shut the fuck up. People can do things in their own way. Like, you know.
Well, I mean, and here's the thing. If are people just not allowed to learn anymore?
Don't even, we can't even talk about that. No one's allowed to learn anymore.
And so this is not
don't even get me started.
This is not a political podcast, but
how dare you evolve as a human fucking being.
So it seems like I really liked the way Sarah handled this situation. She said, hey, this is your opportunity to tell me what's up. If I learn later on that what you tell me right now in this moment is not how it is, that is going to alter our relationship. And I really loved the way she put it because it put it on him. Like, think about what you want to tell me. Think about how you want to play this, how you want to put this to me. Do you want to I want to know the extent of this. Is this a scorned ex that just is trying to get their 15 minutes? Or did you do something seriously messed up to this person? Let me know. I want to wrap up with Lauren and Dave because I know there's going to be a lot to say there. So let's talk about Devin and Virginia. Honestly, they're kind of boring. I feel like Devin should have chose Brittany. Because I don't feel like Devin and Virginia have a lot in common. He is like an athlete. He's super into basketball. She is an athlete in that she's a dancer and she's like physically fit and she's active and all of that. But I don't know that they have a lot in common.
I feel some of these couples are a slow burn, and we're going to find the drama later. Because I don't think the show is really about finding love. I think it's about finding drama.
She took one look at that shoe collection of his and said, prenup.
Well, the dude says he spends $700 a month on shoes. First of all, I don't I don't have a thing for shoes. I know that that's some people's thing, but we all have our things, and that's fine. $700 a month on shoes.
So sneakers, especially their sneakers, it's a whole world.
No, I know, but that's just such.
There's
like you said,
rare collector sneakers and things like that.
But you're not supposed to wear them.
No, you are. But someone like Devin knows how to care for his sneakers. Someone like you or I, we would thrash those $700 sneakers. We don't know how to wear them. We don't know how to take care of them. But all of his shoes, he definitely wears them and they look pristine because he knows how to take care of them.
I have one pair of shoes. It did not cost $700. And I don't get that. Again, I collect my own shit. He can collect his own shit.
Well,
and if he can afford it.
Exactly.
And that's
if
fine.
He's spending his own money.
What I will always say is, whatever your kink, whatever you're up to, whatever you want to do, if you can afford it, it's not detrimental to your life, then fucking A. Just because I don't find it interesting or enjoyable does not mean that you can't. And one thing I will always say, it bothers me so much when... So if you came to me and let's say you want to show me your sneaker collection, right? Oh, okay, so this is something I really like. I'm going to show you this because I like you. I want to show you something I really like. If I were to make fun of you for what you really enjoy, that is the shittiest thing you can do to somebody.
I don't think she made fun of him.
No, I'm just saying in general. So, I find it that some people geek out over... I geek out over Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and a couple other things that I really dig. And some people find stuff interesting that I don't find interesting. But when people make fun of people for their interests, this is just in general, it's pretty shitty. Someone took the time to try to share something with you that they really enjoy. You don't have to like it. Be like, hey, I appreciate that you like it. And it may not be something that I'm interested in. It may not make you or me $1 million. I'm like, but it's super cool that you were comfortable enough to show me that. Yeah. You know? And I've always found it weird because you'll see, oh, you like that? Oh, that's your TV show. You know, something like that. Yeah. It's something I find enjoyable. You don't have to find it enjoyable, but you can fuck off if you think you're better than me because you don't like it. You know,
how many Abraham Lincoln videos have I watched on YouTube lately?
Yeah, and so I may not understand shoes, but I'm not shitting on the dude for liking them. I know that that's a thing, and even if it wasn't a thing, if the guy just collected fucking rocks, good for him.
It's
you know,
not a family sock bin. Yeah. I have no problem with it. I have no problem with it.
Yeah, that's different. That I can make fun of you for that.
Yeah.
So anyway.
The biggest drama I think with these two is that there's I think a 5-year age difference.
Yes.
And they're acting like it's a 25-year age difference.
Well, is it young 20s to early 30s, right?
No,
mid 20s,
like mid to late 20s and early. I think she's 33, so that would make him like 27, 28.
Yeah, but when you're in your 20s, even up to 29, everything above a couple years
I don't
seems
know.
like a big
I just
gap.
don't think it's not like, okay, God forbid, like this would be really gross as if he was like 18 and she was like 23. That would be like, But at where they're at in life, I don't think 5 years is like that big of a deal. What puts a big magnifying glass on their age difference is the fact that both of them went to the same high school, but they were never contemporaries. They never knew the same people, or maybe they knew some same people, but they did not go to high school together at the same time because they're 5 years apart. So I think that was messing with, I think it matters more to Virginia than Devin. She brings it up a lot more, and honestly, I don't like when the person that's older condescends to the person that's younger. And I kind of got that sense a couple times with her talking about like finances and stuff. Is all we see of this guy, he had a pristine apartment. All we've seen is that he spends money on shoes. And she seems to think that is frivolous, I would say, because she talks about how she doesn't spend like that. And then this whole prenup talk comes up. So I don't know. I don't think that these two have a whole lot in common.
I don't think that. I think that anyone who engages in this type of an experiment abso-fucking-lutely should get a prenup.
Yeah.
I don't care. I think that the boogeyman that is the prenup is the dumbest thing ever. Like, you don't think I love you? You don't think I'm going to stay with you forever? It's not about that. It's about protecting. And this is the thing. Let's say I said I want a prenup. It's not about me protecting me. It's about me making a conscious decision to protect the both of us should our relationship fail. It's not betting against the relationship. It's a piece of fucking paper. But what it is, especially in this situation, these people have known each other for 15 minutes and they're getting married.
Yeah,
they have assets.
for being
they're
all
they're not
practical.
living with
Yeah.
mom and dad. You know what I mean? Like some of them might be. But like,
Monica's.
it's practical. And the fact that people think that the boogeyman, or sorry, that that prenups is a 4-letter word. It's like, it is a strictly a safety net, and it's so that y'all don't leave and then okay, maybe you get vitriolic at some point towards the end of your relationship, and without a prenup, whoever has the most money to hire the best lawyer is going to fuck over the other person, and that's the end of it. A prenup is a nice wall that stops that from happening, and that's it. Like, and that's it, every time they talk about it in TV, they talk about it all the time. Anytime someone mentions a prenup, the first thing people say is, oh, you don't think it's going to last? That's not what it's about. Like it's like we don't have one, but if we were to talk about getting, well, like obviously it would have to be a post-nump at this point.
They have those.
They do.
Yeah.
It's just a business thing, and it is when you talk about money, especially if you're coming in at two wildly different financial standings.
But we don't know that.
We don't, but. It generally, when someone is talking about that, it's not usually I don't think it's going to last. It's a smart decision to make sure your assets are protected. And the way that they talk about it later in the episode, when he talks to her family about it, they kind of make it seem like he's not for it at first when she brings it up. And then they go to the family and they talk about it, and then the family talks to him about the prenup because they're like, oh, is it kind of like weirding you out a little bit that she wants to do this? And he goes, no, it's we both leave with what we...
Oh, that was his family.
That was it. Okay, okay. So regardless, but we both leave with what we came in with. What we made separately is ours, which is how it should be. You know what I mean? Like in a perfect world, it's like that's what you guys had. When we came together, whatever we make together, it will be split 50-50, and that's the way. But again, it's not when we get divorced. It's if the worst should happen. That's like saying, I'm not going to write a last will and testament because that means I'm going to die. You are going to die regardless. You know what I mean? Like it's...
Well, then you're saying you are going to get divorced.
Well, yeah, that doesn't work as well. But you understand what I'm saying. It's like saying if I write my last will and testament, it means I'm going to die right now. You know?
Yeah.
Like... It's just silly. And I think it's, for these people specifically in this experiment, I think that it's the smartest move you could make because some of these people might not be long for these relationships, but they're going to make it to an altar. They're going to sign a legal document that says they're married, and how long the marriage lasts after that is up to the world.
Yeah. Let us wrap up with the Lauren and Dave of it all. Oh man, these two. Well, I don't even know, like, I've seen so many theories on what the fuck is going on with Dave and what his motivation behind this is. Going back, because I rewatched these last 3 episodes, she definitely made it seem like to him that these people that she casually dated, one she did say was 2 months prior.
Right.
And the other one, she said was like Dave knew tangentially in his friend group. She didn't put like a time line on that one, but it definitely made it seem like it was a ways before the experiment started. And apparently, Dave is claiming that part of the reason why he broke up with Molly in the pods is because she had a friends with benefits situation within the last 6 months. And he was like, no. Apparently, Lauren, it was hooking up with someone.
And that's what she says is all it was hooking up.
That's good enough friends with all of Dave's friends that literally the minute they get back from Honduras and they're all, everyone gets their phones back and they're calling their families to tell them they're engaged and blah, blah, blah. It's immediately like, Dave, what the fuck? Like, this girl, blah, 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 is a hoe for show. And like his sister is like coming in, like
Right.
like raining on the parade. Dave has a really weird relationship with his sister. We haven't met his sister yet. I don't know if we're going to, but I kind of want to like give him a little bit of grace because their mom passed away. So I don't know if like the sister stepped into that role a little bit, but it's definitely not a healthy dynamic. We saw in like one of the episodes, Dave was telling Lauren, like, his sister told him, like, what kind of sheets to buy. Like, I have a brother. I
must have
like, I would, unless my brother put it on his giftster for Christmas, I don't know what kind of sheets my brother has on his bed. Like, I don't, that is bizarre to me. So
there are plenty of family dynamics that don't make sense, but
different dynamics for different folks. What it was concerning is that all of these people's opinions about Lauren is weighing very heavily on Dave, and Dave is not giving Lauren the opportunity. Well, first of all, he's not giving her the benefit of the doubt at all.
No, and this is the problem I have with him, and I don't like him at all. He just seems like an asshole to me. And his jam is, whatever. So she dated some dude beforehand, like, or as she says, she saw a dude hooked up a couple times, whatever. And according to him, he goes, I haven't had a relationship in like 4 years. Okay, great. Well, he is not even taking any kind of steps to like work through this. Every time they have the same fucking argument over 2 episodes specifically, he's with her friends when they're at like the gym or something like that.
The spin cycle class. Which I did love it showing him struggling because
those are tough.
I took exactly one spin class once when I lived in New York, and I walked out of it. And the spin is not for the faint of heart. That is like a legit hardcore workout.
No.
So anyway.
Well, and they do this, and they go afterwards, they're all talking, and her friends are basically trying to convince him and reassure him that he is blowing this wildly out of proportion, which I tend to agree with the situation. And he just comes back with, yeah, I get it, but it's different. He's like, no, I understand what you're saying, but it's different. Like, he keeps basically taking in everything everyone says and then just being like, right, but you're wrong. That's exactly how he keeps going. Then we go to a different argument that in a later episode that they have in their place where they're living together. And he goes, she's like, I can't work through this if you're not going to work through this. Like, I want you to try and at least give me the benefit of the doubt. And he's just like, yes, but you have to understand, I'm not, in paraphrasing, I'm not going to do that, is essentially what he's saying. He keeps going, I just took this whole week to do that. And she's like, right, but it doesn't seem like you've moved the needle at all. And if you're not going to change you're not even going to take a thought to think that regardless of where she was prior to this or where anyone was prior to this, you're not going to think that she chose to be with you out of all the other people in this pause. So what, she dated or messed with a dude before, a couple months before, that doesn't show how serious you were about this experiment. Let's be real. This experiment is not super fucking serious.
You know what it makes me wonder? It makes me wonder if Dave knows this guy well enough to know, like, he would never want to be with a girl that would go for a guy like that guy.
Well, yeah, it seems like he is
Lauren,
not into
it. There must be something wrong with Lauren if she was fucking with this guy.
And meanwhile, this is the guy who goes around to every single fucking person being like, have you had sex yet?
Yeah.
Have you had sex yet? And then he says later, while they're arguing, being like, oh, and you fucked this guy like right before coming in, like the day
and
before
the
coming
other
to the pods.
weird thing was him telling everyone that Lauren peed a lot in the night. Like,
Yeah, that was
I
weird.
pee a lot in the night. If we were at a party and you just randomly were telling people how like often
tell
I
people
got
that.
up to pee, I would be like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I do tell people that a lot.
Okay.
They just don't bring it up.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, in the same argument, he is like, yeah, and you fucked this guy, like, and he keeps going, you fucked this guy the day before going into the pods, and we've only like messed around and stuff. Like, it's like, so that this dude is super sex focused on a person who he is not actively trying to have sex with. Because if he was, he wouldn't be sitting there being like, I am never going to let this go. And it's very, very clear to me that he's not going to let this go. I don't think this is going to continue on because the way that this episode ended was him being like, I'm going to go stay somewhere else. And she's like,
right after he says like, I don't want to, like he says, I still want to work on things. And she's like, okay, well, I think we need to like be together. And he's like, no,
I don't
he's
think
like,
so.
See, I don't see it that way. I think I need to leave.
Right, which is the thing. It's when you're trying to have any kind of argument. You're debating. You're trying to get someone to see from your point of view, regardless of what the situation is. And the person is just never going to do that. So it's like being like, the sky is very, very clearly red. Like, right, yes, I see that. No, but I believe it is green. And unfortunately, all the facts that you're presenting to me, it's green. No matter what you do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's how, and you know, maybe they're filming it this way because she still seems very much to care for this man. And he seems very little, he doesn't care very much at all.
No.
Because if you care about someone and you love someone and you want to be with someone who has vehemently expressed that, first of all, stop harping on the fact that you keep saying it was the day before. Yo, well, my buddies told me it was the day before. And she's like, it was 2 weeks before. I can prove it, basically, is what she's saying to him. And he's like, well, and he keeps saying, I don't know who to believe. Well, I don't know who to believe.
Well, I think his thing is essentially she definitely hooked up with this guy after she was cast on the show. So, like, what the fuck? I think that's his general sentiment is that
I suppose
you knew you were coming on this show. You knew you were going into this experiment, and after you were cast, so whether it was the night before, whether it was weeks before, you were sleeping with other people.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I could see that a little bit. He does not seem like.
But then also,
it.
I think it would be fair to give Lauren the opportunity to confront her accusers. I mean, in the
and isn't he
United
living?
States,
Isn't this dude living in the building?
Yeah, that was weird. I don't know how that.
They're all in this
like
communal
this,
apartment. So this is not any of their apartments. This is the apartments they put them up in for like what? For like a year or something?
No, like 2 weeks.
For 2 weeks. Okay. So they're all staying in these apartments. And I remember him being like, her being like, yeah, and it's so weird that he's living in the same building we're in. And he like just moved there. And it's just like, that is very strange. And it almost makes me wonder, it's like, did the producers buy this guy an apartment?
I don't know, but I feel like the least that Dave could do is give Lauren the opportunity to confront her accusers. Like, let him.
That's what she said.
Like,
she said
let her. Well, I mean, and if she's sleeping with this guy that is like pretty closely integrated into your friend group, then she might have met your friends before. So, why can't she talk to them?
That's what she said. She's like, she says, am I ever going to have a chance to defend? Because that was what the whole night starts on. They're literally putting together like a cheese plate for their buds to come over. It's like, it starts off, the friends are going to come over soon. And then he's like, when are they coming over? He's like, well, I kind of put a pin in that for now. They're in a holding pattern until we discuss this thing that I guess he took like a full week to not live with her, to get his head together, and then came back for this like little soiree they were gonna have, and then basically shot that soiree behind the barn. Like was like, no, we're not gonna have friends over until I basically drag you over the coals again for something that you cannot control at this point because it's in the past. And I'm never going to get right with this, but it's now to the point where I want you to feel like shit about what you did. And then I'm going to leave you. Like, if you're going to leave, just fuck off and leave.
And then here's the thing. She didn't owe him anything at that time. She doesn't owe him anything now.
Seems like she really wants to keep this going. It's in
the past. Right. This is kind of reminding me of Marissa Ramses from season 7, where like she, like, I don't know.
Ramses was awful.
I don't know if she just wants this because of the show, like she wants to see this through so bad, or I don't know what, but it's like, girl, please do not beg this man to be with you. No. And she is like right there at that point of like begging.
Well, and then I don't know. And it to me, shit or get off the pot. Dude, you have had the entire time that you've been with her to get your head right with this at this point. Mm-hmm. Fuck off. If you're not gonna get over it, which it is clear because she says it to him, you haven't even moved an inch in my direction on this. Like, I'm supposed to be the one that you chose to love, and you, like, it bothers me that he is with this woman and he's supposedly following all the I'm gonna get married, like, this is great way, but he keeps going, well, I don't know who to believe. And it's like, okay, yep. Like, you could believe your friends, or again, you could believe her until you've been given a reason not to, besides a bunch of people who are just sitting there telling you that this is ridiculous. I think she seems to me like a decent person. So it doesn't seem, because we don't know anything, to me like she would do anything with that kind of malicious intent to be like, I'm going to just, this is bullshit for me. She seems like she genuinely wants this to work. People do all kinds of shit. Who knows if it was any person, if it was a person who was not in that orbit, if it was a rando, we would never fucking know about it. How many other people in this experiment had fucked somebody like beforehand and just didn't bring it up? She said, or like, I don't know how it came out, but she didn't deny it. She didn't lie to him about it. She's been honest, forthright.
Well, potentially she could be lying about the time frame.
Well, but give her, and that's the thing. When am I going to have a chance to defend myself? And he's basically like, I don't think it's a good time. And it's like, I don't think it's ever going to fucking be a good time. Also, those friends, hey guys, don't come over yet.
No, he was like, he was going out to meet them.
Oh, yeah. He's like, well, so I don't think we should have them over anymore. No. I'm going to go hang out with them.
Yeah.
Now. I'm going to go hang out with them. I don't want you to come. That to me would be the nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he may be valid in his thoughts. I mean, he is valid in how he feels, and that's fine, but he's coming off like a big old asshole to me. And you got a woman in front of you crying who you were supposedly you care about this person. It does not seem like you care about her in the least, because if you could sit there having someone begging you to just give her a chance, understand that I'm who I am. I can't change anything about what happened before the show.
She cannot unfuck that bell.
What if she went with, what if there was a different guy who wouldn't have given a fuck about that, right? Like one of the other guys. But no, she chose to be with this guy, and he's really raking her over the fucking coals about it. And I don't appreciate it. I don't like people. No. You can't change your past. Doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter what you did. What you have done, you will always have done. So shitting on people about it, even like, I hate something you did in your past. Okay, if you're never going to get over it, then leave. If you are going to get over it, then it's your job to find a way to come to terms with it. Like,
and I think this actually reminds me of like Ben and Sarah. I think people should chill a little bit on judging Sarah for, I mean, I don't know if these two are going to work out. I don't know the spoilers for them. But
we got to look up the ratio.
If he is really genuinely open to learning, like, I don't see anything wrong with Sarah, like, giving him that opportunity and taking that chance. So then I wouldn't find her performative. Then she's actually doing the work that she thinks is important. She's trying to change people's perspectives. So then that would be a good thing, right?
I would imagine.
I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know. You can't know what's going to be important to somebody. Like,
are you just supposed to say, like, fuck you to anyone who thinks differently than you? I mean, there are degrees of that,
levels,
right?
Right.
Yeah, people can be so fucking sideways that you just can't.
Take politics and stuff out of it. Just, you can't know what's going to be important to someone and what's not going to be important to someone.
Yeah.
And let's say you get with someone and you find out that something that is very important to them, you have no idea about it. You have no awareness of what it is, and you have no idea, are you pro, are you like, you have to learn about it, because this is something that you're gonna always, like, if this is that important to the person you're with, then you need to learn about it. And in so learning, you might find that you may differ. Like, again, I'm not talking about politically, like, let's just say, put it as banal as a TV show. Like, I don't like that show, but you love it, so I'm going to give it a chance. And if I don't like it, and if that's a fundamental part of who you are, I guess we can't be together, and that's just the end of it. But in all things, you need to give people a chance to prove that they're open to caring about the things that you care about, regardless of what they are, how impactful they are, how grandiose or minuscule they are.
Yeah.
And that's just what it is.
In this particular situation with Sarah and Ben, for Sarah, there is a right way to think and a wrong way to think. And she's very definitive.
Right.
And Ben is, I don't know if he's riding the fence, but he's saying, like, I just don't know. Well, so let him know. I think one of the most honest things said on the show. Well, he could be trying to.
He might be bullshitting, and who knows? But a genuine response to, I don't know. I could bullshit you and say I know everything about it and just avoid specifics. I could tell you I don't give a shit about it and immediately turn you off to it. Or I could say I genuinely don't know with a degree of certainty about it, and I would like to know. I'm open to learning more, and if that's your passion, I want to learn more about it.
Yeah.
And that's fine. That's more than acceptable. That's where we need to get as people. Like, if that's so important to you, show me, because it obviously has not affected me to the point where it became something that I'm a zealot for or I am a champion of. Like, show me, you know what I mean? Like, and not everybody's experienced everything in life. So that's just the way, some things peter out.
Overall thoughts, Matt, on these last 3 episodes. Who do you think is making it to the altar? Who's a yes? Who's
Alex Moffat's character?
Daniel and Taylor.
Daniel and Taylor, or Daler.
Yeah,
Taniel.
They're really the only ones I'm confident in.
I'm wondering I'm interested to see if there's going to be another explosion over nothing.
With Lauren and Dave?
Yes.
Oh, there for sure is. I don't even think she makes it to wedding dress shopping, to be honest. I think he's done.
Well, not yet. Right? Did they end on an askew note? I forget.
Yeah, they ended with him going to meet his friends.
Oh, no, sorry. I was talking about the other couple.
Oh, Taylor and
the first two, that the miscommunication about Instagram.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, yeah. No,
They're
going to be fine. Yeah, no,
that's right.
They're
no, I don't think there's coming back from this, and I'm going to go back to what I say about every fucking show. Every fucking all these reality shows and Sister Wives. Do you think that they're not going to watch the show when it comes out as a couple. Like, when you say something in the confessional, do you really think that's private? No, it's going to be broadcast on TV. Everyone, every family member who knows you, every friend who knows you, going to see it. So yes, let's say you get past that. And let's say that you're happy and maybe you make it to the altar, but you still, then you're watching this when it comes out, because this is all in the past. Now you're watching this and you're reliving those moments again. And he can't get over it then. He's certainly not going to be able to get over it again, being reminded exactly how he felt and why he felt about it.
Yeah.
In a super cut as well. Not the 2 weeks that they argued about this, but 2 weeks condensed into 10 screen minutes of just him being really, really immobile on it. So I think that people do these shows, and I really do think they forget that all of it is going to be broadcast in perpetuity. It will live in the cloud forever. Yeah. So you're going to see this. Your kids, if you get married, are going to see it. How'd you meet mom and dad? Oh, let me show you the TV show. Wow, Dad, you seem kind of like a piece of shit. My thoughts.
Those are your thoughts.
Those are my thoughts.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing. The good thing, or the cool thing about Love is Blind is it's like a 1 month time commitment for this season. We get every week we get like 3 episodes dropping at one time, and we're done in a month. So I think this next drop is going to be the finale, and we'll find out, and then the reunion, and we're good to go.
That's toast.
We're good to go.
All right, everybody, we got to wrap it up. We got to move on. We have to go to bed. It's late. I'm tired.
Yeah, it's
I want to go to sleep. It's like 11 o'clock.
It's 10,
midnight.
but that is,
that's late.
It's like 2 a.m.
So we got to go. We got things to do, people to see, beds to sleep in. Woo. Find us on all the social medias. Do mostly no harm everywhere social media can be found that I've found. And then you can go to our website, www.level42studios.com, where you can submit a question, query, or concern about the show or what you'd like us to talk about. And you can find Sarah on her varying shows, Sarah Spills and Reality Squad.
Yes.
And as always, everyone,
do mostly
no harm.
All right. Have a good one. Bye-bye.